We have Coach Aranda here. Utilize the raise hand function if you have questions for Coach, and we'll get started. John Werner.
David, what do you feel like this win means to the program, especially doing it the way you did?
I think that, losing breeds losing. I think for us as coaches and a lot of the players, the leadership with our players, you just fight. I think you fight just the natural instinct of when something goes bad, that's going to lead to something else going bad. And then there's almost, I think if you don't continue to fight, there's almost like a here we go again, and this is what is expected to happen, and this is okay. And so I think those are all things that just being on teams in the past, that those things are real, and so you fight those things when you're losing. And so I know for us to practice the way we practice, to have our strength and conditioning sessions the way they are, for us to excel academically like we are, for us to have real rigorous and attentive and at times emotional meetings, and then for us to play that first half, that's just not us. And so for us to play like us like we did in the second half, I'm proud of. I think it's something to build off of. I know it is. I think it gives guys some validation for what we go throughout the week and what we ask of and sacrifices that are being made. And I think it's a shot of confidence.
Do you think the way Charlie played throughout the game and especially at the end maybe kind of proved your faith in him?
I wouldn't think of it like that. I mean, I love Charlie, and I know our team does. I think there was a time there on the sideline, multiple times really, where Charlie was more animated than I've ever seen him. I think he was alive tonight, and our team saw that. There was a couple times where Charlie was willing the team. This was in the second half, and defensively we were not holding, so they were kind of matching our score with their score, and so I would go over to the defensive line, or I would go over to Petrie or Abe, and I would say, "You guys see what Charlie's doing? Do you see he's laying it on the line. He is not going to allow us to lose this game." And we all said how we have a piece in that we have a responsibility to uphold, and I think they all saw that.
Thank you, Dave.
Yep.
David Smoke.
Dave, on Charlie Brewer again, you've seen a lot of quarterbacks, and you've seen what he's been through this year. How can you describe him, if you could, as a football player?
Yeah, I think that's it, a football player. I think that's it. I think, he's almost better if there's contact. He is an emotional guy that's a non-emotional guy, And so I think to get to where that emotion has always kind of been the trick, because once you're there, this is what you get. I've seen this on tape from last year, and it's good to have it on our side of it. But the players love him. When I went up to the defensive players and told that, they all straightened up. They all looked me in the eye, and they all knew what that meant. And I think offensively they knew what was going down in terms of the sacrifice being laid out. So they stood up as well.
You mentioned he's an emotional guy in a non-emotional way. Is that also describe you and what this win may have meant to the program tonight?
Probably so. Yeah, I think that's probably true. I think for Charlie though, I know how much it meant to him, and I know that he said there in one of our sideline huddles that there's no way that we're not coming away with a win. They're gonna have to kill me, right? If for us not to win this game. And so there was more stuff coming out of Charlie on that sideline than I had seen the full year. And so he had our guys' attention, and they were locked in.
Jerry Hill.
Hey, was there anything that clicked in the second half that wasn't working in the first half offensively? I think y'all had like 88 yards in that first half. What changed?
Focus, confidence, trust. I think in the first half we were waiting for someone else to do something, and I think we were unsettled. And now I think give credit to K-State. I think they had something to do with that. Those ends were wide and cocked and kind of and really screaming off the edge, and so they were disruptive. But I think, or I know, it was so much more us that was the issue, and it was human related, not really player related or technique or any of that. It was belief and confidence and trust, and I think we were able to address that at halftime, and we were able to come out and play more unified.
The story for a lot of people is going to be on Brewer making that last drive, Mayer making the kick, but the defense coming up with the stop to get the ball back. How big was that? I think K-State was 0 for 4 on third down in the second half.
You're right. Yeah, we were just talking about that. I thought, at halftime that was a big topic of discussion because we were not very good on third down in the first half. And so we were talking about what we were seeing and what would be the best thing to play, and more importantly, what's the best way to do it, right? In terms of like the how-to. And so we spent a lot of time on that. That was really kind of the halftime adjustment. And so it's good to see that come out. And it's the players that allowed that to happen. It was their ability to believe in what we're saying and go out and execute it. So it was good to see.
Andrew Miner.
You mentioned in the first half that you felt the players were waiting for other people to make a play. Was there any moment in particular in the second half where you watched a play and felt that that wasn't the case any longer?
I forget particularly. It was Ebner. I want to say was it a screen? I think it was a screen that he turned up on their sideline, and I think it was after that you could really kind of feel guys just jump on that momentum and create some momentum of their own, which was really good to see. You just see guys come alive after that.
Yeah, and can you describe your emotions on the game-winning kick by John there, especially after you were on the other end not too long ago in Lubbock?
I was so proud of John. John is a cool customer, and so just John as a person, man. I love that guy and just his wit and his heart, and he is a. We're blessed to have him on our team, just as a person, and so to see him as a player have success, so cool, so happy for him.
Thank you.
Coach will be from Jerry Hill.
Dave, on that, actually, I guess maybe starting in the second half, Jay Sedgwick was holding on a senior day for Thor Rodoni and Jay to be involved in that last kick. How big was that?
It's pretty cool. That's a really cool group, and those guys, I think, Jay was a captain tonight. I think, a couple weeks ago we had Thor as a captain. I think those guys as specialists, they're leaders on our team. And just in terms of how they conduct themselves as people and just what they stand for, how it aligns with Baylor, how they go about their day-to-day. I think, for us to have our freshmen and our young people aspire to be like a Jay Sedgwick or a Thor Rodoni is good for us.
Was that a feel thing to go to Sedgwick, or was anything wrong with Skyler?
No, I think it was. I think it felt like it was the right move to make, and I'm glad we did.
That's it. Thank you, Coach. Thank you, everyone, for joining us, and we'll see you again next week.
Thank you, guys.